Guys, day 19. This is how far I got. I actually really spent most of my day inside Home Depot. It was just a pain in the ass. But I cut these all down and got them laid up here. Same thing on this side. Got to do the bottom on that, which is simple. It'll take me 5 minutes. This is what I had. You know what? I looked so hard to find wood that was exactly 1 inch. It's almost impossible to find. Home Depot was filled with stuff that was, called 1 inch wood, and it was like 0.6, 0.62, and that's not going to work for this wall. That lip is 1 inch, the insulation is 1 inch, and these strips need to be 1 inch. So I ended up having to buy these expensive ones, and I cut them in half. So I got 4 out of 1 8-foot board. So it was like, basically the board was like this. It was like 8 feet long, just like that, and then another one really, really far out. So I got 4 1 inch by 1.5, no, 1 inch by 175 furring strips for the walls, and 5 boards is enough to do the entire wall. A whole strip on the top, a whole strip on the other top, and then studs down at every second window post. So 5 boards is enough to do it, and that's all of them. I just cut them all down directly in half. So that solved that problem. I couldn't find anything that was 1 inch. Nothing in the entire store was exactly 1 inch. I was debating on this insulation was on sale today. So it was 4x8 sheets by 1 inch, and it's normally $18 or $19. It was on sale for $9.85. So that's what I grabbed, which was my original intentions from the beginning. Or, I was thinking about using that other stuff that I used on the floor because it seems to be really good quality. It's working really well, that stuff, the Dow stuff. But they had the 2-inch Dow stuff over there, but that would have just gave me another problem of trying to solve how I'm going to do that. And, 2 inches coming out of the wall would have made me have to use like 2x4s. And I don't want that heavy stuff on this bus. So that was a no-go. The only other option was the 1/2-inch stuff, the same exact stuff I used on the floor. And I could have done that, but also that lip is 1 inch. And I wanted to do something that brought it right to that lip so the wall is smooth. When I put the strips down and on top, I can just put the paneling. It'll be a nice flush panel. I don't have to worry about the gaps and all that other stuff. So that's what I ended up doing. I just cut them all down, used a jigsaw real quick. Didn't even want to, it's so late. It's like getting late right now. It's getting dark. So I didn't want to go and pull out all my saws and things like that. I just used the jigsaw because I had it laying here, and it worked great. I brand new blade in there, ran them in half real quick. I marked the lines, drew it out exactly half, and finished it in like 15 minutes, all of those. So, so I'm just going to finish putting cutting it down to get to that size. I thought about it after doing this floor and the furring strips. I'm not going to drive myself crazy doing like this cutting and then doing the furring strips and then cutting it perfectly to size. What I'm doing is just cutting the sheets and paneling the whole wall, just like that, paneling the whole wall. I left enough space for my strip. So how it's basically going to go is, this is where it's going to sit. There's going to be a 1 inch coming out and then 175 up, and it's going to leave me almost 1 inch right here. So I don't have to block the windows, and I can still put a nice trim piece on there. Or I can butt a countertop up next to it and still have plenty of room. So the wall will come up. It's going to have the furring strip. The paneling is going to stop like right here. And I'll have that much room to butt a countertop up or put a trim piece. And that will make it so I don't block my windows. That's one thing I wanted to point out to you guys, is that I see a lot of people building these buses and they just stud straight up and they like stud right around the windows. I mean, if you ever have a window leak or your window gets broken, you're gonna have to rip your wall down to get your window out, or you're gonna have to cut your wall in half to get your window out. Maybe I'm missing something to me, it doesn't make any sense. I would never do it. But maybe they have something else. Maybe they only plan on using the bus until the window starts leaking and then sell it. I don't know. But yeah, don't block your windows in. If you ever need to take one of those windows out and you stud from the floor straight up, and then you have cabinets here and then stuff like over here, you're going to have to rip all your wall out to get the window out. The window has to come out like this, right there, and then it has to pull in. And you're not going to get it in if you're studded in. Same thing with that back light. That's another thing I wanted to say. Like, these lights, if you get a brake light missing, these bolts, there's like 6 of them on here and then 6 of them on there. They have to come out, and the wall has to come out. So if you stud over all of this stuff over the entire back, if your brake light goes out, you have to rip your wall down to put a new brake light in. I mean, unless you're going to do it from the outside, if that's even accessible. I know that mine changes from the inside. You take a couple bolts out, this folds back, and you turn the little thing and change the bulb. I mean, I already checked it out. So what I'm going to do is frame all this out, insulate it, and I'm going to take the grinder and cut a little access panel, just like I did on the floor for the fuel tank. And I'm going to put a little hinge door on there, just so that I can always get to my brake lights. If my brake light goes out, I just go right to the thing, open the hatch, pull the thing out. It'll be an insulated, tiny little hatch, just so I can fit my hand in there to change the brake light bulbs. So yeah, that's keep that in mind. That's I'm trying to think of all of that stuff, because I'm at this point now where I'm starting to block stuff in. So, you know, obviously before I start paneling and all this, I have to cut my water outlets. I'm going to go to the outside of the bus, cut the square, get my city water, my gravity fill water. It's a 2-in-1. I'm going to put that in there. Then I have to cut a 50 amp electrical box. That's going to have the 50 amp, the 30 amp. And whatever other electrical connections I need, I'm going to try to get them all in that one nice panel. I got to cut that in. And then once I cut that in, I can start doing all this stuff and, you know, hook it up properly. I got to run electrical wires. As soon as I get all this in and the furring strips in and it's ready to get paneled, then I'm going to start running my electrical real quick. I'm going to run the wires down. Even if I don't fully hook it up, I'm at least going to run them and pull them. That way I can put the panel in with that. The box is there already. And then I can have my brother come over and hook up all the electricity, because he's an electrician. So he can come over here and hook all that stuff up. And yeah, that's about it for today. It's not a long video, not too much progress, but you know, it is what it is. I think that I'm happy I found those boards, and I just ended up cutting it in half and not changing my original plan, because I like this stuff. I like how it goes right flush to the thing. It's really easy to work with. If you know, it's these pieces right up here, there's 3 of those in a board. So you snap it, it already has, you know, the lines where you can just snap. You just bend it, it snaps, and that gives you 3 pieces that are exactly the same size that I need. So it was absolutely no work to get those up. And then I just took a board and then cut 9-inch pieces out for the bottom, because from that lip to the right to be flush on the floor is exactly 9 inches. And then as you can see, these are in tight. Rock solid in there, nice and tight, 9 inches. And then the paneling will come straight down to the floor, and it'll be a nice little trim piece along the floor, a little molding. But this is perfect because it's nice and flat. I don't have to do anything with this lip. This panel right there goes right over it. All right, so tomorrow will be a good video. I'll have this done tomorrow. So that's it, guys, and good night.